And we're back to learn Gimp in here, day 56. Let me show you how you can make your own brushes. I'll create an empty layer, transparent, let me call that brush, and I use the paintbrush. I'm gonna use one right here with a lower hardness, so I want it to feather out a little bit. And let me just draw a simple line with a couple of curves. I'll make the background invisible, then I'll go to edit and copy. And you can directly see that right here as the active brush. Let's go to window, dockable dialogues, and it's the brushes menu. If you can't find it, click there, it should open. And now we go to edit, paste as, and use paste as new brush. Gonna get a new window. And here you can name it, give it a brush name and a file name. You don't have to worry about the spacing, we can adjust that later on, so just keep it to the default. For me it's 25. In this case I call it toothbrush 1 and I confirm we are okay. I watch the brushes menu, we have it right here now as well. So this has been stored as a new brush, not just the current one. And if I create a new layer and make the background visible again, let me call that toothbrush 1 as well, transparent. And I paint over it with a black color and I make sure that I've got this specific brush that we've created selected. So right here, left click on it in the brushes menu and you can already see it. It's a little bit bigger. Let me press Ctrl Z and I go down with the size. And there you go. We have this little symbol, you could say, that we've created, stored as a brush, and you can now use that to create other symbols with it. You can right click on it and edit the brush, and this is where the spacing can be found again. By the way, when you right click on such a brush and you edit it, the brush editor will open up automatically, and then you can adjust all of these things, your radius, spikes, hardness, aspect ratio, angle, and spacing. And that's why I said it doesn't matter with which spacing you store it first, as it's adjustable, editable anyway. Let's do that once more. This time just a dot, a line, and another dot. So first I make the background invisible, then I go to edit, copy. You can already see it, but to store it, we go to edit and then paste as new brush. I'll call that toothbrush 2. I confirm, and now we have it here as well. Once more, I create a layer for it to paint on. I'll make the background visible again. Use the paintbrush, select it right here, toothbrush 2, go down with the size a little bit, and you can see how I can now paint the dot line dot pattern. I'm going to use that principle a couple of times in the next videos, so maybe you want to try it out right now, create your own brush, just for practice, and then come back for the next video. I hope this video was helpful, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.